A lot of people are using their trauma, their labels, their assessments as an excuse not to change. I was on a call recently and the person I was talking to asked me, do you do assessments? What's your Enneagram style or what's your Enneagram number or whatever that is? Have you heard of this framework? And I get it. Like those tools can be accurate. They can describe a person in ways that make that person feel deeply seen, deeply relatable. And there's real value in that. But here's what I've watched happen over and over and over again in the coaching space. Like a client comes in, they do that assessment, they get their type, and then they walk away with a new story, a very detailed, a very validated story about why they react the way that they react, why they struggle with what they struggle with, and why they are the way that they are. And that story just becomes another box for them. And then the box becomes the reason, right? Like, oh, I was rejected at 15. I wasn't hugged enough at 5. I had this thing happen to me when I was 20. I'm a type 4, so I just do this, right? Or I have an anxious attachment style, so I do that. And all of that may be true, and none of it is moving your client. Here's the distinction I want you to really understand as a coach, because this is where most people, they're truly getting it wrong. There's a difference between awareness and identity. Awareness says, I notice I do this thing. I understand where it came from. I can see that pattern. What identity says is, I do this thing because of who I am, because of what happened to me, because of my type, because of my history, because of my wiring. So awareness is always the starting point. And when you get to identity, it's truly a dead end. So when your client understands their pattern and they really understand it and they can describe it back to you in detail, they can predict when it's going to show up and they're still doing it. That's not a willpower problem. That's not a consistency problem. I don't care how much you coach on it. This is a client who has turned their pattern into a part of who they are. Listen to this. Right? You cannot coach someone out of who they are and who they believe they are. You can only help them see that the story about who they are isn't actually true. Do we understand this difference? Because it is absolutely crucial that you do. And I want to say something that might be very uncomfortable, but I'm going to say it anyway because it matters and people need to hear it. A lot of people are using their trauma, their labels, their assessments as an excuse not to change. This doesn't have to be a conscious thing. It's not malicious, but functionally, that's what's happening. Because this is what the label does, right? What we've been talking about. It explains the pattern. And once that pattern is explained, it feels understood. It feels like it's safe. It feels like, oh my gosh, once it feels understood, the urgency to change gets softer. We never stop to ask, what is the pattern protecting you from? We never ask, why or what would you have to face if this pattern wasn't there anymore? Because that's the real question. Not where did this come from, but what is keeping it here? What is it keeping you safe from right now? And that's the thing that nobody wants to talk about in the coaching industry, because it feels like you're dismissing someone's pain, and it can feel like you're telling them that their trauma wasn't real and it's not valid. And that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that there are people sitting across from you right now in your calls who have a very thorough understanding of their pain and are using that understanding to stay exactly where they are. And if you keep working at the level of the label, then you're accidentally helping them do that, whether you like it or not. That's exactly what's happening in your calls. So what does it look like to actually move someone, right? You stop asking where the pattern came from and you start asking what the pattern is doing, right? Not for them like historically, like right now, today in your life, in their actual life right now. What is it doing? Every pattern that persists, every behavior a client keeps repeating, even when they know better, is persisting because it's serving them somehow. There's something that it's protecting them from. It's something that feels scarier than staying stuck. It's something that's scarier. The thought of not having it can really be disorienting. So maybe that full commitment means full failure. And if they never fully commit to that, and they never have to feel that, and they never have to feel that letdown. Maybe being seen means being judged, and staying small keeps them safe from that. Or maybe trusting someone means getting hurt. And that pattern of pulling back first means they never have to find out what that hurt looks like or feels like. So your job as a coach is not to help them understand that. They know that. Your job is to help them see it clearly enough that they can actually choose differently. That's a completely different skill than holding space for somebody. It's a completely different skill than just asking good questions. And this is why coaches who've been doing this for years, coaches who are smart, coaches who care deeply, coaches who show up fully for their clients, they still have clients who aren't changing. And it's not because the coach isn't good enough. It's not because you're not good enough. It's because the tools that you were given, they stop at awareness. And awareness on its own is not enough. I don't care what anyone tells you. It's time to really move past that belief that awareness is enough. Your clients don't need more labels. They don't need a more accurate description of their pattern. They need someone who knows how to get underneath that, someone who can sit across from them and tell them the things that are hard to hear, someone that sits across from them, that pattern freaking goes off. You ask them, what was that? What just happened? And what is it protecting you from? And then you help them make a different choice. That's intervention-based coaching. That's what actually moves people. That's what actually moves them. It's not awareness-based coaching, it's intervention-based coaching. And if nobody taught you how to do this, that's okay. But it is your responsibility to go find it, to figure it out, because your clients are counting on you to do more than hold space. Hold space is, anyone can hold space. They're counting on you to help them change. So if this is landing for you, if you've been sitting across from your clients who completely understand their patterns, but they keep coming back and they're still not moving, I want you to grab the free guide that we're going to link below. And it's going to be in the description. So what it's going to do is going to help break down all of this. It's exactly what's going to separate coaches who get results from coaches who stay stuck at the awareness level. And if you want to talk about what it looks like to actually learn this methodology, what I'm talking about here, there's going to be a link to book a call with me too. You can talk directly to me. There's no pressure. It's just a real conversation to see if this is the right space for you. And so thanks for being here today, and I'll see you in the next video.